So go ahead. What's your name?
I'm Zach.
And you're?
Michelle.
And you heard about the posters? You saw the posters?
Yeah.
Where'd you see them?
Everywhere. You do a great job.
Good, good.
Covering space. This is the third time I've been here.
Third? Oh, it's the first time I've noticed you. I should have noticed you before. I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, this is a really, really, really interesting spot. My mom actually, I was talking to her, and she said she may have been here before in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
You were doing
Not
this
here,
in the
no. I
80s?
didn't start this till the 90s here.
Ah, I see.
Other places in the 80s, but this was the
Cool.
90s. Started in
Yeah.
92.
Well, it's a very cool way to view films and see the good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, you must come more often.
Yeah.
The first thing I saw was the Hitler
Mm-hmm.
propaganda film
Uh-huh.
here. I was really moved by your speech afterwards.
Oh,
Yes, that's
and then we
that's the
came
part to look
for
forward to.
Kid Dracula.
Yeah, that's the first one I saw. That was really nice, and the speech, especially after, was a very nice way to put it all together.
oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I did a lot of running around town. I'm talked out, energy out right now.
Ha. That's all right.
Yeah.
Dali's one of my favorite artists. Though I really love surrealism, but I feel like surrealist film is a lot more of a commitment in
Mm.
terms of liking.
Well, a painting, you look
Surrealism.
at it and you can move on, but a movie
Yeah.
demands that you sit there and look at it for the length of the film. Again, that film was not meant to please. It was meant to really disturb people. So.
Yeah, and it's cool seeing it now and seeing how he would go about disturbing people back then, and it still is disturbing today.
Mhm, that's the point, yeah.
Yeah,
It should be,
so
yeah.
he did a very good job. Timeless.
So how long were you in Jamaica?
A week in Jamaica. Yeah.
Mhm. Show us those cornrows. Put those.
Get a good 360. They did a very, very nice job. They pulled at my hair for about half an hour and came up with this. I didn't actually know I'd be getting cornrows,
Mhm.
but people said that I look very natural in them.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
Thank you.
you got lucky. You met good people.
I did. Yeah, everybody was asking me if I was Jamaican, if I was one of the locals by the end of the week.
Good. That's what you want.
Exactly, yeah.
Uh-huh.
We got what we wanted.
Good. Good.
Yeah, I would say come here first and then go to Jamaica. And then come here again.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's nice to hear.
When did you start showing the Dali films?
Well, back in the 80s is when I started showing them. I got them. I was showing them at the Bathurst Church, and then I was showing them at the Spadina Hotel, then the Diamond Club, in the Grapevine Room, and then Sneaky D's upstairs,
Cool.
and then here.
Nice.
I had a conflict with the management, so I just moved to town here for what I thought would be one night. And people walked in and said, "We like this." I said, "You like it?" They said, "Yeah." I said, "Good, this is where it'll be."
Nice.
This
Yeah,
is
this
where it's
is
been since '92.
nice. This is a
What's-
beautiful spot.
Yeah, well, it's in the Lonely Planet. It's the #1 place to see in Toronto in entertainment.
Wow.
It was by itself, and then TIFF and some other people got upset because they were paying money for ads, so they moved them up to the front and did a special mention. But
Yeah.
I'm there by merit; they're there by bucks. So,
Wow, well you deserve it. This is a one of a kind place. Really cool.
yeah, glad you like it.
To
Yeah.
see movies.
I'm bringing Bugs Bunny's sister here in October.
Bugs Bunny's sister?
Bugs Bunny was created by a man named Tex Avery,
Ah.
and his daughter's coming to Toronto here in October.
Wow. Yeah, I'm sure you get a lot of notoriety.
Well, notoriety is good. Notoriety is negative in a sense because it's bad
Oh.
publicity, but bad is more interesting than good.
Oh.
Like infamous means really fucking famous. Famous is okay, but infamous means really fucking famous.
Yeah.
You know. And a friend of mine, someone said Reg is famous, and a friend of mine said no, Reg is infamous. That means really fucking famous.
I like that.
Yeah. Well, I certainly didn't try to be, but that's beside the point. I don't think you should try to do anything. Just do it.
Yep, and then it'll come out naturally, and you'll get what you want from it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But she's been on my Facebook page for a couple of years now. I just said, "What's your relationship to Tex Avery?" She said, "I'm his daughter." So I said, "Oh, then you should come to Toronto."
Yeah.
And then because Bugs Bunny is the world's greatest drag queen, I asked the drag queen to do a show over in Church Street. So we're going to get a bar in have a bunch of drag queens and male strippers and do the whole 9 yards. And she's
Very
gonna
nice.
pick the best male stripper and the best drag queen in Toronto. And
Yeah.
just
Sounds
do
like
it
a
something
sweet
fun.
party.
Yeah. Well, it's something designed to give Warner Brothers a heart attack.
Yeah.
What are you doing to our characters? This is terrible. No, it's what they would have done back in the day.
This is what Dolly would have done.
Yeah, yeah.
Just piss people off.
Yeah. Well, I want to get her out on the road and make her some money because she wants to do a documentary on her father, and that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But they don't think so. They think it's a risky thing, so they're not willing to put money up. And
Mm.
so, you know, it's just to get people
Really?
interested in
Yeah.
her and they're interested in seeing her. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep. It'll be a lot of fun when you just decide, you know, whatever. I just do stuff for the fun of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's an important part about life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go with the flow.
I like to come here. The first time that I came was right as school was ending, and I had taken film studies at University of Toronto. I couldn't stay awake for like any film or lecture. I just couldn't do it, but I feel a lot more engaged.
Mm-hmm.
Coming here.
Yeah, like in this
Yeah.
environment.
Oh, I would have to agree. I definitely have to agree.
Well, the picture and sound is better here, for one thing.
Yeah, it's a lot more cozy. It's more inviting. It's more unique. It's like you go to theater so many times and it's the same thing over and over again.
Well, theaters used to be opulent,
Mm.
big, huge, beautiful places, and now they've made them into shoeboxes. And
Mm-hmm. Well, shoeboxes is in the theaters like the Cineplex.
mhm.
Ah. Well, then what would this place be?
Well, it's not a shoebox. It's small, but it's not a shoebox. You know, it's not even a theater. I call it a salon. It's someplace small. Cecil Taylor is an American avant-garde jazz pianist who plays the piano the way most people don't want to hear it, but he plays it brilliantly. He said the key to success in the arts is to find someplace small in your own city where you can present your ideas on a regular basis
Mm,
without being interfered with. And that's what this place allows me to do.
very nice. Because you couldn't get people having a nice lecture at the end talking about the movie at a movie theater where there's tons of people who have their own things to do. They might want to go up after.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to really, if you want to have your art and your view on your art put out there, you have to do it in a little environment, and this is a perfect
Yeah,
place.
then the world, he said the world invites you,
Yeah.
comes to your door, and it's true, and then you get invited around, you do stuff.
Yeah.
Other places where they really are excited to see you. But in your own town, people aren't that excited because you'll always be there.
Yeah, that's true.
So you just learn to ignore that. I have a young fellow who's moving in August who came here, lived here for a month before he went back to Switzerland. His name's Dylan, and he's made himself head of a film club at U of T, and all the meetings will be here. Because he was studying Italian film at U of T, and then thought that the projection and sound was the best that could be got. And then he walked in here and discovered that it was far from the best that could be got.
Very nice.
So he wants the rest of the people to experience the films better.
Yeah,
That's fun. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's beautiful how you openly can invite people to come and accept your place and treat it like home, and it's just it's a great environment, and I'm sure all the people coming in here leaves a nice energetic footprint and good vibes for everybody.
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of people wind up becoming regulars and sometimes move in and then discover a whole direction for their life that they wouldn't have had otherwise. So a lot of good stuff's come out of here.
Mm-hmm.
More than I dreamed possible. Which
Good
is why,
stuff coming out and good stuff coming out.
yeah. So it's been a good place to live, and it still is.
Uh-huh.
It's one of the reasons why I fought so hard to keep it when it was being attacked, and still is being attacked.
A lot of artists, they've realized that you can't go too big if you want to really get your art out authentically. And especially mediums of getting your art out, like through film, even through music, any performance art. It can be watered down if you have to bring it to too big a level, and it can get out to more people with a better, more positive message. I think if you keep it small.
Well, success comes at a high price. You have to be careful. A kid came up to me and he said, "Boy, I'm ever glad I listened to you." And I said, "What did I say to you?" He said, "You said never sign a contract." I said, "Yes, never sign a contract." I said, "What happened?" He told me his band had been approached by a big company, and they'd all signed a contract about him. Because you remember what I said. He took the contract to his dad's lawyer, and his dad's lawyer read it and said that they'd built the mortgage on the studio that they shot silent films in back in 1925 into that contract, and if he signed it, he wouldn't make a penny. You know, everybody thinks that these people are going to help them. They're going to help themselves.
Yeah, well, that's why they got into that business.
Yeah, but they're not going to help you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be very careful with all of them, and then treat them like scum. And just back off, and then do your own thing.
I like that advice because I'm not one to do that. But people who are going to treat you like scum, I guess you got to give it right back to them.
Yeah, well, I mean, all the filmmakers from yesterday, the moment that they started to flag in their career, they just dropped them. So they would go from studio to studio and then revive their career. They showed no faith in them at all.
Mm-hmm. Because they don't show faith and respect in the artist. So why should they do it back?
Mm-hmm. So what's your names again?
Zach.
And
Michelle.
Zach and Michelle. Yeah. There you go. And if you hire people to do things, they started enthusiastic, and then as it gets a little bit more difficult, they lose their enthusiasm. But it's yours. Whatever you're doing is yours.
Yeah.
It means more to you than it means to somebody else.
Of course.
Promotion is simple. You just call people up and tell them that you're doing something. People don't like doing that kind of thing. They prefer to have somebody else do it for them. If somebody else doing it for you is expensive. And they have to have more than one person to be able to make ends meet for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just one item on the table as far as they're concerned. But when you do it for yourself, you're the number one item.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get a part in a television show, then you do a release, a media release, saying, invent a third person if you want. Invent a character for yourself. Become your own secretary. Play the part of being your secretary.
Mm.
Yeah. And then send it out through your secretary. People don't have to know that your secretary is you.
Ah.
And you can fake your voice and say that, when they call for you and they ask for you, you use your secretary voice.
Well, that sounds like fun.
I also have an agency though.
Well, I know, but you're just one person on their list,
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
it's true.
And you'll do a better job if you're promoting yourself, because it's
Yeah.
your life.
Loopholes.
Yeah. No, it's just, it means more to you than it does to them.
Yeah.
A lot of things that I've been doing recently have been like non-union, which is like I usually just get through networking.
Mhm.
And it's amazing how things can happen like that. Like you work on a set with somebody like years ago, and then they like write a piece and they have it for you.
Mhm.
It's not always that easy when it's like with an agency, but they can get you like the big money.
Well, that's what you want.
That's hard to get for
Mhm.
yourself.
Because you at the same time, you want to build your name.
Yeah, and if you can do it all by yourself, I think people will notice that.
Like this whole thing, there's no I in team. Right, but no one comes out for the team, they come out for the stars.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You see?
Yeah, that's how people
And they
think.
keep going on about there's no I in team, but people come out for stars.
Very true.
And if you don't believe you're a star, then stop doing what you're doing. And you project stars, so if you don't believe, you better start believing, you know? It doesn't mean you
can
have
be
to
a
have
star.
attitude and pretend that your feces smells like roses.
We-
No, that's the wrong thing, but don't let anybody ever put you down.
Yeah, everyone has the potential.
Mhm.
Just gotta learn about ourselves. Because
Well-
if you can be authentic, then people will listen.
Well, authentic is just being interested in everybody, not, you know.
Oh yeah, because that's what humans are. They're interested in everything and everybody around them. So yeah, you show
Well,
that.
some people aren't. Oscar Hammerstein III wrote Playboy, South Pacific, and all kinds of great musicals. And he said, being knowing and blasé is really the sign of a very unsophisticated person. The most sophisticated thing one person can say to another is, I know nothing about that, please tell me.
Yes.
And genuinely creative people are interested in everyone. And when someone starts to talk about something they know nothing about, they listen. Whereas pseudo-sophisticates always walk around with an attitude of knowing,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you come up and you show enthusiasm or something, and they start giving you attitude like, who are you to talk to me? Whenever someone does that to you, just don't get angry, just walk away. You're not talking to a person, it's a corpse. don't anybody ever
Well
make
put.
you feel less than whole. It's fun.
You don't want to be hanging out with corpses.
No, they stink. And they can't talk.
It's nice to hang out with some real people.
Mm-hmm. That's the kind of people I live with.
Well, if you are supplying or if you're projecting a positive environment and attitude, then those are the kind of people you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who's who doesn't like people and doesn't like life isn't gonna embrace what you have to offer.
Well, what I like about this place is we can do what we're doing right now. In a bar, you're there to sell beer. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that until I started doing shows in bars. And then they took the bar and I got the door. And then I realized that Bob Dylan, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles were beer salesmen. That was their job, was
Yeah.
just to get people to sell beer.
It's a lot more fun playing in a house party, playing a show in a house party than it is in just in a bar where you have to try your hardest to get everybody to come out and get their money and help out the bar.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can just have fun with it and supply the what you're really doing and the art that you're making, then people are gonna enjoy.
But radio and television have killed what it used to be like for people at home. Because we didn't have radio, we didn't have television, so we entertained ourselves
Exactly.
with music and dialogue and interesting evenings together, conversations. But radio and television killed basic conversation.
We don't know how to communicate
music.
anymore.
Yeah. This is one of the few places where that actually happens.
Yeah.
I have a terrific musician from Japan staying here. He plays didgeridoo and different things on the street.
Wow.
Once a week he brings his friends over and they do something in the backyard.
Well, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to come jam.
Well, talk to him if he's here. I was down on Queen Street putting some stuff up and I stopped by the A&W and had a hamburger. And a friend of his, another Japanese fellow, come up and asked if I had room for him. And I moved him in and he was frightened by my eyebrows and by the Kid Dracula posters at first. But he said, no, this is a good place.
Yeah.
He's an awesome musician, so it's great to have him here.
That's
How
sweet.
many people live here?
Quite a few. All interesting people.
Yeah. It makes every day interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Andrea. I really like the playlist selection for each
Oh, hang on a
scene.
sec.